Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Monday through Friday. My name is JC. On today's episode, I haven't done this in a while, at least on camera. But I feel like, I don't know, I need to do a tarot reading. Not for anyone in particular, maybe myself, but maybe just the collective right now. It seems like a good time to do it. As of recording this, it is the new moon in Libra, my sign, and new moons are the beginning of something. They're the beginning of a new chapter. And being that it is the new moon in Libra before Halloween, also known as the Pagan New Year, now's a good time to take a look at what's coming down the road. I've got my Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Why do I add Smith to that? Because Smith was the woman who illustrated these cards. Opening the cards. Whenever I'm about to start a reading, I always knock, fan the cards out, and blow on the cards. We're going to do this on my little computer desk here. Don't mind the noise. I'm going to shuffle these first. You know what? First, I'm going to lose the jacket. It's a little warm in here. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? All right, there we go. Gonna shuffle these cards real quick. So we're going to do a reading for the collective being all of us out there, over the course of the next 3 months, November, December, January. What we can expect over the next 3 months. Show me what we need to know for the next 3 months for the collective. All right, first card is going to be for November. Next, let's do for the month of December. And then lastly, let's do for the month of January. Month of January. Here we go. Beginning with the month of November, we have... we have the Tower. So the Tower is about a transformation, upheaval, a change to the status quo. And though regularly viewed as a bad card, I see that it could be either good or bad. Sometimes we need to break a habit. We need to break a routine. We need to do something drastically in order to get where we are going. So for the collective for the month of November, we have the Tower card. And we will get more into this in a moment. But let's take a look at the month of December. December for the collective. We have the Page of Swords. The swords are all about knowledge. So the Page of Swords is someone who is a student learning things for the first time, just starting their journey on the way to knowledge. So maybe something is revealed to us in November and we all have to process it and we begin to unravel it in the month of December. Let's take a look at January. All right, for the collective, for the month of January, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is considered kind of cold, and by that I mean emotionally cold, reserved. It's not the most matronly type energy. It's more of clear-cut decision-making, but doing so from a place of now empowerment. So January, we have the Queen of Swords. Let's get some clarification on this. Show me clarification for November, the Tower. Show me clarification for November for the collective on the Tower. Two cards came out. Guess we're going to do 2 cards for each. And then we are going to do clarification for the month of December with the Page of Swords. The month of December, 2 clarifying cards. Right there. And then for the month of January, show me 2 cards to clarify the Queen of Swords. 2 cards to clarify the Queen of Swords. We've got 1. And I feel like Spirit's saying 2 more cards. So go ahead and show me 2 more cards. Here we go. To get a little bit more clarity on the Tower for the month of November for the collective, we have the King of Swords and the 6 of Cups. Alrighty. First off, the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups is about working together, is about community, is about lending aid, lending a helping hand. And then we have the King of Swords, which is the counterpart to the Queen of Swords for the month of November. I feel like there's an ushering in of a new way of doing things. Like this card in the month of November through the Tower is opening the way up for what is to come beginning in December and for a great deal of time onward. So we have mutual aid in the 6 of Cups, but we have the beginning of something ushering in the way. Tower moment, ushering in the way, mutual aid. Let's get clarification for the month of December for the Page of Swords. Clarification for the Page of Swords, we have, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and we've got the Death card. The Knight of Pentacles. How we're handling our resources. How we are handling what we have already. This isn't about what's to come. This isn't about what we're about to receive or what's coming to us, but how we make do with what we have already. And because it's a knight, it's going to happen relatively quickly. It would happen a lot quicker if it was the Knight of Wands, but it's the Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles deal with earthly goods, resources. So we have the Page of Swords, which is learning something new. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which is, okay, this is what we have. How can we make this work? And then we have the Death card, another card of transformation. And this is in December. Had it been in November, I would have said, okay, this is somehow tied to Scorpio season, because the Death card is tied with Scorpio. But sometimes something needs to fall away in order for something new to begin. So this might be an end to a way of things that we were doing before in the past. A way of living, a way of day-to-day routine or systems in place. It's interesting because we had the Tower already in the month of November, and then that was followed by the 6 of Cups, mutual aid, and then the King of Swords, and then which is ushering in something new. Then we had the Page of Swords, which was a very new learning curve. Willing to do the work, but having to learn. But the Death card, 2 horses here. So maybe I don't want to go out there, but like maybe choosing a way to go, but I don't feel that's quite it. I feel like more it's like taking the good with the bad. In this case, taking the good with the bad. A new way of doing things. How do we manage our resources? How do we make the best out of this mess? Now I pulled 3 cards for clarification for the Queen of Swords in December. Again, cold strategy, indifference, but doing what is necessary. We have the Queen of Cups. Cups deal with emotion, and the Queen of Cups could be saying, we've been through a lot, and it's going to be tough, but we're going to handle this with dignity. Yeah. We know it's going to be tough, but we're going to handle this with dignity and grace. Next, we have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords, the story behind the Eight of Swords is this woman is bound up. This figure is bound up, blindfold over her eyes. But if she only, and she's in a cage made up of these blades. And though she feels like, oh no, I've been captured, I've been bound to something, the cage doesn't surround her. This idea of it being inevitable is only an illusion. In fact, the bars of the cage, which are made up of the swords, she can lean up against those bars and set herself free. So this might be people who feel like, oh no, this is the worst thing that ever happened. They just need to look at it differently. That this might be the means of your true freedom. This might be the means of your release. Getting out of a false cage that you've been giving power to. And we've got the Hermit card. So Hermit is tied to Virgo. And inside of his lantern, he holds the Star card. He holds the star. But the Hermit is about taking a break. Not necessarily taking a break, but tightening the circle. Removing oneself from the collective. Going inward to find answers. 3 powerful cards there. Handling turmoil with dignity and grace. Realizing that the cage that you've been living in is false, and that if you only trust the process, you will set yourself free. And taking a step back from, we'll say, herd mentality, from being led astray. You have your own light by which to see, the light of truth, and reflecting upon that. One more clarifying card for each one of these months. Give me one more clarifying card for the Tower for the month of November. Give me a clarifying card for the Page of Swords for the month of December. Clarifying card for the Page of Swords. And another one for the Death card. I'm going to put the Death card over here. There's the clarifier for December. And then a clarifier for the Queen of Swords. Clarifier for the Queen of Swords. And you know what? Clarifier for the Hermit too. Let's get a clarifier for the Hermit. And then I'll bring us to 5. That sounds good. Alrighty. So the clarifier for the Tower card for the month of November, we have the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is seeing something from a different point of view, looking at things differently. Major Arcana. Yeah, we just had this Tower moment in November. but we need to look at it differently. Don't take it at face value as, oh no, this is the worst thing that ever happened. This is the beginning of something new. And we need to view it as such. Clarifier for the Page of Swords for the month of December. We've got the Devil. We've got the Devil, which is temptation, bondage, being shackled to the system, being subservient, letting something else take power over you. Month of December, we had the Page of Swords, so maybe this is realizing that, wow, we've been allowing something else to control us all this time. The clarifier for the Death card for the month of December, we've got the King of Wands. Action. Doing something about it. Rising up quickly and doing something about it. Possibly even shedding skins, shedding an old way of doing things like bye, bye, bye. Lots of lizard iconography, which is about renewal. Are we missing any of the kings? But for the Death card, we have the King of Wands, which is taking action. Systems have changed. Now's the rebuilding. Let's think this through, but let's get our hands dirty. Let's do something about it. Clarifying card for the Queen of Swords for the month of January, we have the Empress. January for the collective, Queen of Swords, the Empress. This is going to make us strong. For those that embrace it. True power. True power by doing, actually coming alive. Actually coming alive and living. The Empress is the essence of all four queens. But this is also like having done what needs to be done, finding fulfillment in life. Let's look at the clarification card for the Hermit for the month of January. We've got the Six of Wands. Another horse, forward movement. Wands means speed and action. This is almost like the people standing together. Victory, but the people standing together to make sure that we do this right. We are all represented. Cooperation means victory. And I'm going to draw a final card. I'm going to draw a final card to sum up the next 3 months. One final card to sum up the next 3 months for the collective. We've had the Tower. We've had the Page of Swords. We've had the Queen of Swords. Lots of major arcana. We've got the Hangman, the Devil. A lot of like breaking illusions. If the Moon card comes out, I'm going to freak out. One card to sum up the next 3 months for the collective. The Queen of Wands. Wands, action. And she's the only card to have this black cat. Steadfastness. Sovereignty. Sovereignty. That's what it is. Knowing you have power. Knowing that you deserve this throne that you're sitting on. And I don't mean that in a power over others type of way. I mean that in a power over yourself. Taking the horse by the reins. By knowing yourself, you are in control. Being responsible for your own actions. That's the overall theme for the next 3 months. In the beginning of the new year. November, December, January. Knowing yourself. Being accountable for yourself. Yeah. And a much more bountiful and lucky and fruitful outcome because you've gone through it and you've realized that you can trust yourself. We are all going to be given over the next 3 months. I feel like the collective is going to be given a bit of a shakeup where things will come to light and it's up to us what we do with that. And it'll really be up to us how we shape where we go from here. Shits and giggles, let's look at the bottom of the deck. The Sun card. This is one of the most positive cards you can get. Behind all of this, the reason that this is happening isn't because of, oh, woe, or harshness. No, it's because we're working towards this. We are working towards the sun, where we need to be as a collective, as a people. We are working towards absolute joy. And I don't mean in the sense of like, drink the Kool-Aid, fra la la. I mean the sun. We are working towards something great. It's going to be a little touch and go there at the beginning, as it always is. Being born is not easy. Giving birth is not easy. But it's damn important. So, through all of this, over the course of the next 3 months, we are working towards the goal. We are working towards a brighter future. We've got to go through some stuff to get there, but you can't make an egg without cracking a few omelets. Don't fall apart at the first sign of resistance. Don't fall apart at the first setback. Take that energy. Work with it. When something is taken away, you have to ask yourself, what is being given to me? What does this leaving from my life, what does that mean is going to be coming in its place? It's going to be something beautiful. Remember to take care of yourself and to take care of those around you. Some of us are going to be a little bit more shaken than others. If you can, let them know that it's going to be all right. It's going to take some effort, but something better is on its way. And we can all work together to make that happen. Thank you all very much. Happy Halloween, blessed Samhain, and I look forward to seeing you all again in the new year. Bye.